Now, the first contracts between the South African government and independent power producers to add 1,400 megawatts of renewable energy to the national grid was signed in Pretoria today. Energy Minister Dipuo Peters said the signing ceremony with the 28 approved bidders for the so-called Window 1 was an auspicious day which presented various benefits for the South African economy, not limited to the energy sector. Window 1 describes the first round of bids sought in terms of government's 20-year integrated resource plan for renewable energy, including solar, wind, biomass, biogas and all other projects. It was estimated that Window 1 would bring investment worth 47 billion rand into the energy sector, Peters said. While joining us now to discuss the process is Obakeng Moloabi. He is the Executive Director of Pele Green Energy. Obakeng, first, let me say congratulations. You are one of the preferred bidders. Tell us, what the Window 1 actually means for your company. What is it going to be that you're going to be putting on the table? What are you bringing to the party?
So our project in round 1 that we signed this afternoon is a 36 megawatt concentrated photovoltaic plant in the Western Cape. The signing of these projects today basically means the renewable energy industry can start in South Africa. We've had very minimal renewable energy besides the hydro that we do. So it's very important for the country in terms of the energy mix and in terms of security, but as well an industry that's actually brand new for the country and will present new opportunities.
Now, give us a little bit of history of your company, Pele. I mean, what kind of renewable energies are you involved in? And are you diversifying, in terms of going across various offers, whether it is solar, whether it is, hydro? What exactly are you involved in?
I mean, the first project is a solar project. This is just what's happened in round 1. But Pele's mantle has always been to actually go with a diversified view. Energy is about mix and not just one technology, and there are several benefits to be derived from different types of energy. So the main thing that we focus on is in the project is that the project must be meaningful to the communities that we're in, but as well as financially viable, of course, because you need banks to come in and participate in the sector. But the big thing is that 20, 30 years from now, we do not want to be sitting and finding ourselves in a place where we're reliant on one energy source, because that will just, it will put the market out of whack. So that is the main and the key point to follow from. I mean, Pele is a diversified renewable energy company. We're involved in solar, wind and landfill gas.
Now, when the minister made the announcements, she was very keen to stress that there obviously has to be benefits for communities. One of the big issues is, of course, job creation in South Africa. Take us through the kind of job creation projects that one could see as spin-offs of what you're doing. What kind of figures are we talking about in terms of estimates for jobs?
I mean, for our project on its own, we're looking at over 100 jobs during construction. Because renewable energy doesn't require a lot of maintenance, the number of jobs do decrease over the operations and maintenance time. But it's quite key to actually realize that there'll be a lot of skills that will be coming in. You're looking at creating jobs in an area that's really economically depressed. And this is the key thing about renewable energy. It doesn't happen in the big cities and areas where you have economic activity. So it's fantastic in that sense that it really is going to provide a field for people to get new skills, which have mainly been coming from Europe, North America and Asia.
What kind of skills are we talking about?
I mean, we're talking about high technology here and quite complex technology. Initially, because all the skills still sit in Europe, you will see more less skilled jobs go into the country. But as we get into the manufacturing sector, and this start is so important in that it will open up greater opportunities. I mean, opportunities for universities so that the kids in university can learn about this technology. And this is part of the whole program that we're putting together to ensure that you're really getting a proper skills transfer. And unlike in a lot of sectors, this is a brand new sector in South Africa, so everybody finds themselves in the very same place. Unlike in the other sectors that have come. So pretty much the whole country needs to be given that type of opportunity to get the skills.
Obakeng, a final question. You spoke earlier about the fact that obviously financing is important, banks are important. How successful or how difficult has it been for a company like Pele to actually get finance from banks to get going in, like you say, an area that's quite pioneering, quite new?
I think because of how the government has organized the program, it has really given the comfort to the financial institutions that the investment is quite safe. It has been difficult for a company like ours, which is quite new, to convince a lot of people. But I think the one thing that's quite key is that because the program is so strong and your off-taker is government and you're pretty secured from that point of view, investors do like it. They still, it's a fair, good return that's being made, and I think government has made it very good for companies such as ours, because the internationals have to participate with South African companies. So I believe in this space, it's really, they've opened it up. I mean, I can't confess to other sectors, but really in this sector, I think the way it's organized, it's key to how developing companies such as ours are actually going to become bigger and get into a utility type mode, where when we don't need government to be helping us so aggressively, you see it's the major push that you need in the beginning.